276, 16 walks, most on the team, and when he gets on base, he's a threat. He's stolen 8 of 9. That first pitch just misses the outside corner. We're underway. Matt McKendry behind home plate tonight. John Wolf at first, Andrew Fulton at second, and Sam Kaye at third. Chatinier has reached safely in all 15 games in his lone year at TCU, and now the high strike is called for Benj.
Benj a little bit amped up. He's at 95 with his first 2 fastballs.
Chatinier started 183 games in 4 years for the Rebels. As Benj misses low at 94. Had a bit of a down year at the plate. 265 average last year and just hit a .188 in SEC play. But a dynamic defender along the infield, and he strikes this one pretty well to center field. Humphrey's back, and he makes the catch right at the track. Ballpark might play a little small tonight. That wind is straight out of the south to center field, and Chatinier stung it, but there's out number 1.
Oh, you saw Humphreys in center field. Let's look at the rest of the defense around him. It is Mann, Humphreys, and then Alex Pendergast back in the starting lineup in right. Kraus, Hefner, Santos, and Poole across the diamond. Patriot fans used to that, as well as Grant Jay, who started every game behind the dish. This time he's doing the catching for Connor Benj in his first start as a Patriot.
Sam Myers now. He is one of 4 lefties in this TCU lineup, and this is a fairly young Horned Frogs lineup. 3 true freshmen, beginning with Myers, who's from the Houston area out of Cypress, Texas. He's been hot of late. He's hit safely in 9 of the last 10 games, hitting .364 over that mark. Shallow to left, man on his horse, and a shoestring grab, and there's 2 out.
A long way to go there for Ethan, and it's one of those in-between balls where it's easier just to go into the slide than the full-out dive or trying to catch that while bending over at the waist. So a deep fly ball to start, lazy fly ball to left after that. Good start for Benj.
Danger here in Logan Maxwell. .438 batting average, and this is a guy they're just glad to get healthy. He's battled injuries throughout his career. He dealt with a hamstring injury last year, only started 33 games. He hit .300 in the time that he was in the lineup. Injured in his freshman year as well. In early April, missed the rest of the year, but this is a guy right now leading the club in average at .438. Tops on the team in doubles with 8. Right back to Benj. He finds it, and he works a 1-2-3 frame.
And a curveball, not going to blow you away on the radar gun. He'll top out around 90 miles an hour, as it is the #1 starter for West Virginia last year, who gets the nod against the Patriots here on a Tuesday evening, and a perfect Tuesday evening at that.
Well, you're not kidding. 73 degrees at first pitch. Blue skies in Dallas. Picture perfect for what is quite possibly the premier matchup in college baseball tonight. Well, there's Alex Pendergast, who had been in that leadoff role over about an 8-game stretch, slid down in the order on Sunday, and you see him back at the top of the order tonight against a left-hander on the mound in Hampton. A senior out of De Pere, Wisconsin, in Hampton delivers first pitch inside for ball 1. 41 starts in 3 years for Hampton at West Virginia. Freshman All-American in 2021. And Pendergast rips it past the second baseman, Chatinier. And losing the baseball is Brunson. Pendergast gets to second base as Brunson fumbled the ball. It's his second error of the year in DBU, with a base hit by AP, and then the error gets to second.
Boy, what a start there for Alex Pendergast. He got a fastball there at 87 miles an hour and just sent it right back up the gut. Good effort from Chatinier, but just an error that can't happen for Brunson. A single E8. That's the official ruling.
So here is Miguel Santos. 21 RBIs for Miggy. That's second most on the ball club. Senior second baseman who's not missed a start in his Patriot career. 138 consecutive starts. Pendergast always a threat to run. He's stolen 6. Team leader in that category. Big cut, and Hampton is up 0-2.
Good change of pace there from Hampton. Went curveball, fastball to Pendergast, and now head 0-2 to Miggy.
So 0-2 stays high.
And this is where DBU's been so good, is even if Mickey doesn't drive that run in, this team has been phenomenal at just advancing runners. Those advancement opportunities tell a big story for this offense.
1-2, rip foul, pulled it.
It nearly took out his teammates there. It was dangerous.
Well, for Miggy, with runners in scoring position, he hits .391. Numbers up a bit. It's early. Last year was a .333 hitter. At 1-2, he strikes this one well, right center. Brunson there. Should be deep enough to move the runner. And Pendergast, you talk about advancing that runner to third base. AP to third. There's one out. And now one of the nation's top sluggers to the plate in Grant Jay. 9 home runs on the year for Jay, who is chasing history.
Or in his final season. And Grant Jay, already with 9, he's on pace for 32, which would just annihilate the single season record and put him right on the cusp of that home run record.
Well, his 9 home runs are 4th most in the country. It's Georgia's Charlie Condon who leads the nation with 13. See how stout Jay is at 5'11", 222. Sophomore out of Sims, Alabama. And he put on a show against his hometown state in Alabama a couple of weeks ago at the Frisco Classic. 2 home runs, including a 468-foot bomb in the 12th inning that proved to be the difference.
He has not found a video board that he doesn't like to go over yet.
Hampton at 1-1. Floats the curve outside. Yeah, if you're with us in the open tonight, you watched the highlights against Baylor, and it was Jay who went over the scoreboard in left center field. That scoreboard every bit of 40 feet high out in deep left center. The 2-1, and Jay lifts it to left. Should be deep enough here. Myers settles under it. Pendergast trots home, and DBU is on the board. 1-0 on the sac fly from Grant Jay.
Yeah, true to form here, because we told you that DBU's been so good at these advancement opportunities. That's winning baseball. You take advantage of an error, so you got the extra base, and then 2 fly balls that are hit well by Santos and Jay get you the head start here against TCU. That is going to be just music to the ears of Dan Hefner.
It's Ethan Mann now against Hampton. Fly ball to right field. Boyers started to his left, now still tracking it, and the wind wreaking havoc as Boyers hauls it in. Might be that kind of night at the ballpark
for the weekend.
4, 5, and 6 for the Frogs in the second, starting with Curtis Byrne. Here's a veteran bat here, a redshirt senior. Came to TCU in 2020. He was a 35th round selection of his hometown team, the St. Louis Cardinals, back in 2019 out of Christian Brothers College High School. He gets the start tonight behind home plate. And his 0-1 down that right field line. Long run. Santos there along with Pendergast. It'll be AP who makes that catch for the first out. Right now, Ben's kind of pitching to contact.
Yeah, 3 flyouts and then that line drive that wasn't hit particularly hard. 77 off the bat from Logan Maxwell that he turned into a ground out. So 3 flyouts, 1 ground out to his credit so far through 4.
Anthony Silva now to the plate, a 293 hitter. Sophomore shortstop. This is one of the best in the country right here. Consensus freshman All-American last year. He was 3rd on the team in average at .330. Hit 7 home runs as a freshman. He has just the 1 this year. That was on opening day, part of a 4-hit day for the Frogs against Florida Gulf Coast. Falls behind at 2-0. Now, TCU first noticed Silva as a pitcher out of Clark High School down in San Antonio. He had verbally committed to the Horned Frogs leading up to his sophomore year in 2019. But he was highly thought of by Major League Baseball scouts. And he turned down the draft. In fact, he made it very clear that he was signing with TCU. So scouts have projected Silva to be a top 5 round pick. And he was on his way to Fort Worth. And he's a draft eligible sophomore. Whether he goes pro this year to be determined. But a guy that at least Baseball America projects him to be a top 30 prospect in this year's draft.
They had him at number 29 for the draft. He was also invited to play Team USA over the summer. Had an extremely talented prospect.
That one's off his front foot. As he collapses, you always hold your breath right there. Silva wears that shin guard on that front left foot. He gets up, and they'll give him some time to walk this off with a 3-2 count.
Hard to see where he got him, but doesn't appear that the shin guard helped him there. Oh, right above it. That is right off bone. And take your time, Anthony. That is painful.
We saw a scary moment on Sunday. Angelo Peraza, second baseman for San Diego, in the 9th inning, had something very similar. And you had to kind of question while we were still playing. It was 16-4 DBU. We very well could have enforced the 10-run rule. They wanted to keep playing and nearly lost Peraza. Here's a 3-2, and that's ripped. Good-looking swing from Silva into right field. And the Horned Frogs have their first base runner of the night.
Now, talking to the long-time voice of the Horned Frogs, Chuck LaMendola, before the game, and said that's really what the offense is for TCU. You're not going to see, he said even with the wind blowing out, you're not going to see most likely a ton of home runs. That's just not how they play. He said it's a lot of going the other way, spraying the ball all over the place, and that's where they have success. A really good piece of hitting there from Silva, first base runner against Bench.
It's Ryder Robinson who will now step in. Another one of these true freshmen in the lineup. Yeah, it is a different looking offense under the direction of TJ Bruce, who's in his second season. It's a ground ball up the middle. This might be a tailor-made double play ball. Hefner, Santos, pull, and call it 2. Against San Diego to win the series. They tied a single-game program record, drawing 14 walks in that ball game. They took advantage of those. They had 14 hits in the win. It's an offense averaging 9.5 runs per ball game as Poole watches for ball 1. It's also a team hitting .318. It's the 25th highest batting average in the country, and they're 13th in the nation in home runs with 31. That might be the most glaring difference. You talked a moment ago about TCU, a team that not a ton of power, but this Patriots team likes to play long ball.
No, they're hitting well over 300, so they can spray it everywhere, but it's not that same type of offense that we've seen from the Patriots. What's great as a DBU observer, if you are a DBU observer, it's that DBU can beat you in multiple ways. It's not just the home run.
Hampton's 2-1, falls behind at 3-1. Yeah, this team has stolen 28 bags, 28 of 31 on the season in stolen bases. Third in Conference USA in doubles. Here comes a 3-1. Sky high, back at third, shallow to left. 3 converge on it, and it's Silva who takes charge for the first out.
But didn't get a chance to get to it in the first inning, so here's the defensive alignment for the Horned Frogs.
Now it's Michael DiTallo. Dottie's hitting .352. That's the second highest batting average on the ball club, but it's an average that's really fallen here in the last week. He's just 1 for 12 last week, and that average fell from a team-high .429 down to .352. He's quickly in the hole at 0-2. Facing Ben Hampton, who grew up in De Pere, Wisconsin, which is a part of that Green Bay metropolitan area. 3 years at West Virginia, now in his lone season with the Horned Frogs. They've got a couple of big-time transfers that they signed in the portal in this pitching rotation. Hampton being one of them. The other in Peyton Tolley. Now, Tolley's not in the lineup tonight. He's a two-way player. But a guy who's been in that Friday night role, transfer from Wichita State. Hampton's 2-2. Bounce foul.
And Tolley hasn't had a ton of success yet. He's 1-1, an ERA up over 6. But 28 strikeouts in 16 1/3. He has walked 10 over those 16 1/3, but the stuff's there if he can harness it. That's the question.
He's a big, strong kid, 6'6", 250. 2-2 on the ground. Silva's made both plays here in the second. You think about two-way players for TCU, and the one name that comes to mind is Luken Baker. And Baker was built a lot like that, 6'6", 250. Go back to 2015, 16, 17 was when Baker was at TCU, kind of an injury-riddled career. You had to wonder what
could have been for sure.
Could have been for Luken. He was a star on the mound. Ended up being a guy that primarily hit, and now made his big league debut last year with the Cardinals.
A huge part of that team. Another big part of that team is now on the coaching staff for the Frogs. Evan Skaug has made his way back. His first year as an assistant coach.
Yeah, see Skaug over in that first base box when TCU is at the plate. Brian Howard also, big game Howie, as they call him, is also on the staff working with the pitchers, TCU. It's really a different looking staff. Dave Lawn came over from the University of Arizona. He runs that pitching staff along with Kirk Sarlos.
By all accounts, Sarlos has been more hands-off than he ever has before. Obviously, the pitching guy under Jim Schlossnagle for so long before becoming the head man.
2-1 to Hefner. Very close. And just down and away to Luke at 3 balls and a strike. You're seeing 2 of the top defensive shortstops in the game tonight. Talk about Anthony Silva. Here's another one in Luke Hefner. In the hole to the right side, Chatnier slides and fields in a slick fielding play by
Corpus over the weekend before hitting the road next week. Carson Bowen, Chase Brunson, Luke Boyers are the 3 to do the swinging here against Connor Binge in the 3rd. And there is strike 1 on the slider from Binge. And the key for Connor is always harnessing his control. The 5 walks in 9 innings, opposite of 10 strikeouts, but he's thrown 18 pitches, 13 of them have been strikes. Now a 1-ball-and-1-strike count, and the only batter that he allowed to reach was one that he went 3-0 to. Anthony Silva got it to 3-2 before singling to right. And it's Bowen at the plate, a .267 hitter. Leads the team with 17 RBIs. He's out of Anaheim Hills, California in his sophomore season, and another was a freshman All-American last year. Also honorable mention Big 12 and the Big 12 All-Freshman team. And as Binge goes to 3 balls for the 2nd time in 3 hitters.
His last couple of pitches have missed glove side for Binge. Key for him is always being able to get ahead. And when he's in the zone, it's awfully good.
He got ahead, but now it's 3-1. And there is his first walk. So Binge issues the free ticket, and Chase Brunson will come to the plate. It's a TCU team that walk to strikeout offensively is pretty impressive, as they have 6 walks on the season. They've struck out just 114 times. As Chase Brunson will come to the plate, the 3rd of the 3 true freshmen in the starting lineup. As he has started now 16 of 17 games. There's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner. Best bolt for Binge came in the 1st inning. In fact, a couple of pitches he threw 95 miles an hour. Bats in double play depth. They turned 1 in the 2nd. And that has been the way of Connor Binge. He's got 5 double plays that he's induced this season, by far the most on the staff. Got a 1-ball-1-strike count to the freshman. And now 2-1 to Brunson.
He's having some issues right now being able to land the off-speed stuff, whether it be the curveball or the slider. Continue to miss down and away to the right-hander.
Doesn't want to fall down 3-1 again. He won't. As he went with the fastball, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes for Brunson. That .346 average. That puts him 3rd on the team behind Logan Maxwell and Sam Myers. 2-2 count, a man at first, nobody out. The pitch. And a breaking ball he can't locate. Couldn't tempt Brunson enough to get him to offer.
Where Connor's successful a lot of times is with that riding fastball. We've not really seen that yet. He's trying to land that breaker as the out pitch.
Very shallow lead by Bowen, but he's still going to take off. Swing and a miss. Throw to second will be late. And so it is a strikeout, but a stolen base for Carson Bowen, his 3rd of the season.
He went to the fastball there, 94 from Binge. When he had to have it, it wasn't the riding fastball. This one seemed to have a little bit of sink on it. The throw from Jay, who's been so good, who's thrown out 5 of 12. That throw just kind of a one-hopper there allows that tying run to get into scoring position.
Yeah, with how small the lead was, I was surprised that it wasn't really even a close play at second. Jay had been 5 of 12 throwing out base runners. Starting down and in is Connor Binge. To Luke Boyers, hitting .302 in that number 9 spot. Now to Bernie Champion High School in his senior season. Game 179 for the switch hitting outfielder, and he's on first base, hit by a pitch. Well, when the Pats have gotten in trouble, It has been because of free bases. A leadoff walk to Carson Bowen. And then Boyers, the number 9 hitter, is hit by a pitch. And TCU's got a threat here in the third.
And again, it's all of a sudden here in the third inning, the feel for the breaking ball stuff, the secondary pitch has gotten away from him. So now as a guy in Chatinier who knows that, you're really hunting a fastball.
Chatinier flew out pretty deep to center his first time up as the Patriot bullpen starts to move around. First pitch goes off speed there for a strike at 85 as he starts him with the slider. Chatinier coming off a 1-for-11 weekend against Kansas. He had a hit in his first at bat of the weekend. That was the end of his 7-game hit streak. Jay keeps it in front. Charlie Atkinson has grabbed a baseball, and he's starting to loosen up, the freshman for DBU. And it's not a case tonight where Benj was expected to go deep. This is going to be a bullpen game for the Patriots. You'd love to get 3 full innings, though, from Benj. Just misses away. So 2-1, and this would be a great time for Benj to dial up the 2-ball that he's done now 5 times this season. Most recently to end the second. It's now 3-1 to Peyton Chatinier as Benj has lost control here. He had 11 wins at LSU Eunice last year. That was the second most at the D2 JUCO level. Trying to find it here. And he does, very bottom of the zone. Now 3-2.
That's where he was able to throw that pitch to Brunson with a 3-2 count. Bottom of the zone fastball. Really yet to see him climb that ladder.
Here comes the payoff pitch, and he walked him. 3 free bases here in the third inning, and TCU's got him loaded with 1 out.
Well, this has been the kryptonite. You talk about the self-inflicted wounds for DBU.
Strikes, but here in this inning, he's only thrown 6 strikes. He's now at 36 pitches, and half of them have been out of the strike zone. So now Sam Myers is up. Myers is 0 for 1, but TCU's got a chance here. Myers, the freshman, flew out to left his first time. That slider's just not there right now for Connor Benj. It's 1-0. Benj led LSU Eunice, or helped lead them, I should say, to a 53-5 record last year. Team leader in ERA, in innings, and in strikeouts. He had 86 in 70 innings. He's got a strike here. It's 1-1. This inning started with a walk to Carson Bowen. Luke Boyers was hit by a pitch. Peyton Chatinier walked. So no ball has been put in play by the Horned Frogs in the third. But they've got him juiced with 1 away. Grounder to first base. They're going to come home with it, and the throw pulls Grant Jay off the bag, and the gifts continue in the third inning. It's now 1-1.
Well, you had exactly what you wanted. Hard ground ball to first. If you don't get 2, you're at least going to get the out here at home. And Poole's throw just, up the line, and there was no chance for Grant Jay. He's lucky that he was able to get it. That ball kicks away. You might score 2 right there.
So still only 1 out. Scoreboard shows 2. I like its thinking, but it is still 1 out here with the bases loaded. Here's Logan Maxwell, and he goes into the air left field. That's the first hit of the inning for TCU, and it gives them the lead. Base hit by Logan Maxwell. It's now 2-1.
Well, this is where the order gets real dangerous. Maxwell is swinging the hottest bat in this lineup. Second time through to see Benj. And he gets the fastball up, let her high, and just goes with it. That's textbook for TJ Bruce. When we talk about with TCU, what they want to do, Not necessarily a power slugging team, but they're going to take pitches where they are. That's off the plate, opposite field, base hit into left field.
This ball's lined to the left by Curtis Byrne, and that one's going to get by Ethan Mann and go to the wall. 2 have scored. Stopping at third, Logan Maxwell, and Patriots gave away 4 bases to start the inning, and now TCU's bats are coming to life on a 2 RBI double from Curtis Byrne.
Yeah, you can't give a team like this opportunities like you've given them here with the 2 walks, the hit batter. They're going to cash in on it. And they're not missing barrels right now. Back-to-back hits here for Maxwell and Byrne that have been laced, and that'll be the end of the line now for Connor Benj, who was so sharp tonight through the first 2.
So Charlie Atkinson, the freshman, will be called upon as he will come in with runners at second and third, 1 away, and facing 2 walks and a hit by pitch along with an error to start the frame, but then back-to-back RBI base hits to make it 4-1. So here's Charlie's first pitch. Misses away for ball 1. Silva singled in the second. He was then the front end of a double play ball that ended the second. Pat scored first in the first, but TCU has the lead with 4 in the third. Atkinson starts at 2-0. Silva in his sophomore season has the average up over 300 with his base hit. Last time up at 305 after hitting 330 as a freshman last year. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Charlie. So it's been a week since we saw him. Didn't throw against San Diego. He threw an inning and a third against the Bears in Waco. Gave up 2 runs. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was the 2 walks that got him in an inning and a third. In fact, Charlie came out, pitched really well to get out of his first inning, and it was when he came back after the break when he got into some trouble. 2-2 pitch. Silva able to lay off the breaking ball there. So 3-2 once again. 4 of the 8 hitters for TCU in this half inning have gone to a 3-ball count. Bouncer just foul at third base. Sam Kaye, the third base umpire. That was pretty close.
Probably a break for DBU right there, if that is fair. Kraus behind the bag. That's a long throw. Not hit all that hard, and Silva's got a pretty good chance to beat it out, and the Frogs get another run.
Probably going to be tough to see exactly where that ball goes to the left of the foul line from that angle, but Sam Kaye was right on top of it. No argument from TCU, so 3-2 once again. Strikeout would be big for Charlie. Fastball, struck him out looking. 92 at the knees, and Atkinson gets a big out number 2.
Great response, especially after coming out and missing with his first 2 pitches. And it was fastball, fastball, fastball for Atkinson. We saw him run up to 95, and that one down in the zone at 92.
So 2 down. And Ryder Robinson will step to the plate, hit into the double play to end the second inning, his second of the season. Charlie's first pitch, he goes express at 94. It's a 9-game hit streak for Robinson. He's got a hit in 9 of his 11 games played this year. Hits this one pretty well, left center. Nathan Humphries is there, and he'll make the catch. So the inning does come to an end, but 4 runs for TCU on
in the third. Kind of minimize the damage.
And that ends the line for Connor Benj. 4 runs, 3 of them earned. As the first pitch is a curveball to Chayton Kraus, the number 8 hitter. Hitting .328 on the year. He's got some pop. The 4 homers, 20 RBIs. He's reached in every game. Has a hit in 7 straight. It's Kraus. And his first year at DBU, a transfer from Grayson. 5 hits over the weekend. Now 2-1. He also had 4 RBIs against the Toreros. Him and Humphreys, a luxury to have at 8 and 9 in the lineup. And Kraus goes deep to center. Brunson looks up. Chayton Kraus leaves the yard. Dead center at 423. Off the bat at 103 miles an hour for Chayton Kraus, and the Pats respond immediately in the bottom of the 3rd.
How about that for a guy hitting 8th in the lineup? 5 bombs, and that's what you've got from Chayton. He looks like a clean-up hitter, and that's essentially what you've got in the number 8 spot. And that second clean-up hitter in the lineup, big bat. And that ball absolutely crushed. You know, don't undersell what Charlie Atkinson did there in the 3rd. The 4th spot to get out of it when you had runners at 2nd and 3rd. This is an offense here in DBU that can light up a scoreboard. And you feel like on a night like tonight, the way the wind's blowing, that 4 won't win it.
Here's Nathan Humphreys, takes a strike on the outside corner. At first pitch, the wind was blowing out 10 to 15 miles an hour. It seems to have died down a touch as Humphreys takes on the outside corner, 0-2. Here's Humphreys hitting in that number 9 spot, 228 average. Lone home run we showed in the pregame, grand slam against Oklahoma. The younger brother of Zach Humphreys, who played 5 years at TCU. And he's gone on the breaking ball, so Hampton comes back after giving up the home run. And he picks up his first strikeout of the day. So the lineup card will begin its second time through with Alex Pendergast. As 2 teams out to great starts. DBU at 13-2, tying their best record through 15 games. TCU got out to a 13-0 start. That was their best start in school history. Here's AP taking outside for ball 1. I had mentioned just the 2 ranked teams on a Tuesday, as both these teams in every major poll and all in the top 20. Patriots, their highest ranking is 13 in the perfect game poll. The highest ranking for TCU is 9 in perfect game and the Collegiate Baseball Writers Association poll. As Pendergast fouls it off. They were top 5 across the board before dropping 2 of 3 to Kansas. So as high as 9 and as low as 12 right now for the Frogs. 2-1 to Pendergast, back in that leadoff spot. Top of the zone, 2-2. Very generous strike call. So Pendergast singled, scored a run back in the 1st. Only other run, the Kraus home run to lead this inning off. Pendergast slowly rolls one to the left side, and Robinson can't field it. Would have been a tough play. Pendergast can run. That's going to be an infield single.
Horned Frogs have had their fair share of difficulty fielding the baseball through their first 15 games. That's their 17th, make that their 18th there, because the other tonight in center field from Brunson. And this is a true freshman right there in Robinson on the hot corner.
And I think the pressure from Pendergast going down the line probably speeds up Robinson a little bit. So no error. And Miguel Santos is up. He's the tying run early on in the bottom of the 3rd. And Miggy hammers it to left, but he's out in front of it. He got every piece of it, but well to the left of the foul pole, much to the chagrin of the Patriot faithful here, who, in frustration, slam back into their seats.
You've got fireworks just waiting to happen in 2-3 in this lineup with Santos and Jay, and then just wait till man gets going in that cleanup spot.
Santos now at 0-1, pops it into right center. Could be a tough play. That falls into no man's land. Pendergast is going to get to second just before the throw. You could see that developing off the bat of Santos. A break for the Patriots. And here comes Jay with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, this looks like a pop-up straight up in the air. And it hangs up there, 3 converging on it. And Boyers did everything he could to get there. Really, the question was Pendergast going to be able to get to second base? There's a force out at the bag, and AP does a good job of being able to play right in between. That catch not made, and then he is off to the races. to get to second base. So now, big bat here in Grant J with 2 on.
Now, Hampton obviously in a tough spot, but he can't be too upset with the contact that he's given up from Pendergast and Santos. Generally, you see that would be 2 balls he'd probably get it out on. Here comes Dave Lawn for the first time that we will see him. Actually, no, I take that back. It's Kirk Sarlos.
That is. We were told Dave Lawn will make most of those mound visits, and even
it ties him for the team lead with Chase Hover and Ben Abelt, but 7 appearances so far for Rodriguez. He is 1-0 with an ERA right at 2, and the reason he's called upon here is they need to punch out of Grant J. He has struck out 13 batters in 9 innings on the mound. He has only walked 3, just a .270 batting average against. So Grant J will face the righty. He is a little bit better against lefties, but he still hits .333 against righties. So they do go right on right here, and Rodriguez on the mound for the first time since Saturday against Kansas when he went 2/3 of an inning. So big matchup here in the first pitch to Grant's, the slider down and away for ball 1. It's a 5-pitch mix for Rodriguez. He's got a fastball, cutter, slider, curveball, and changeup. It can't be fun to try and guess along with Rodriguez. Fastball in there, 89 miles an hour for a strike. It's 1-1. Rodriguez out of Long Beach, California in his sophomore season. Stares in at Jay. Good looking breaking ball there.
That's the pitch right there for Rodriguez. The slider or the curveball to right-handers is the out pitch, either one. That slider's got the sweep action, the curveball, a little bit more of the bigger break.
First and second with 1 away. Jay trying to come through here with 2 strikes, and they got him on 3 sliders. Great pitch from Rodriguez, 2 away.
Well, this is a guy that was so good last year here as a freshman. It was just his second appearance. He went 4 2/3 innings of shutout baseball. He struck out 4, and he did a whole lot of that right there. That is a tough pitch to lay off of.
So Rodriguez trying to do what Charlie Atkinson did in the top of the 3rd, limit the damage. It's up to Ethan Mann with 2 away. And Mann grounds 1 to third base. It is backhanded and a long throw that pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Bowen. So bases now loaded, and Tom Poole is coming up. That's going to be ruled an infield single.
Yeah, deep at the bag. Nice slide and play by Robinson. Yeah, even a good throw. I mean, it's going to be close. But Pats have got the bases loaded. However you want to call it, single or error, regardless. Pats are in business right here, and you got the left-right matchup with Tom Poole.
I wonder if Robinson had a better idea of going to third base to try and get Pendergast. But here's Tom Poole. Ball 1 from Rodriguez. Tom popped up his first time to shortstop. A base hit would most likely tie the ball game. See Pendergast there at 3rd, Santos behind him at 2nd. And there's another awkward swing. A couple of those that Rodriguez has induced from 2 pretty powerful hitters in Grant J and Tom Poole. So it's a ball and a strike here. Down and away. Tom 1 for 2 with the bases loaded this season. Patriots as a team hitting at .300. Couple of grand slams. Another breaking ball, 2-2. That's such a devastating pitch from Rodriguez.
That one there could have been the change. 83 just fades from Poole to left-hander. His best stuff is the off-speed.
2-2 with them loaded. Strike 3 on the outside corner. So Rodriguez done top of the 3rd on 2 base hits. 3 of the 4 runs were earned. And Bowen takes high, ball 1 from Charlie Atkinson to start the 4th inning. Final line, by the way, for Ben Hampton, the starter for TCU. 2 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. And 1 in the first inning was unearned after the error in center field by Chase Brunson. So on a ball and a strike to Bowen, who's hitting at 267 now on the year. Takes this one high. Hit 350 last year. He is the leading returning hitter for the Frogs. Three balls and a strike. And again, as we mentioned, Atkinson against Baylor. He came in, got out of a jam, and then got himself into trouble when he tried to start the next inning. And this inning starts just like the third with a walk. So Bowen has been on twice leadoff walks in the last 2 innings, and sometimes it feels like you're watching the same movie when the Patriots do give up a big inning. So you're hoping Charlie's able to keep the damage really to nothing here in the fourth after the leadoff walk.
He was so good in his first 2 outings of his collegiate career against Southeast Missouri and Oklahoma, 3 2/3 innings of shutout baseball.
Oh, strike one off speed to start this at bat to Brunson.
And this is where you better take care of him right here, because you get back around to Chatagnier at the top of the order. If you see Logan Maxwell this inning, you're in trouble.
Fastball fouled back. Oh, you do get to the bottom of the order, and it's not the bottom of the order that you'll see a lot of teams have. It's 2 guys hitting over 300 here in the 8 and 9 spot with Brunson and Boyers. It's a complete lineup for the Horned Frogs. Not as much power as the Patriots have, but they get the job done. They're averaging 8 runs a game. Pat's at 9.5. 0-2, he went. Nice hard slider there from Charlie Atkinson for his third strikeout, or excuse me, his second strikeout.
Well, that tunnels well with the fastball. For the right-hander in Brunson, it looks like fastball out of the hand and then just breaks away, down and away. And that's what you want. You're looking for that to be a chase pitch, not necessarily trying to land it for the strike, but to try to get Brunson out in front.
Well, here's Luke Boyers. Swinging it from the left side. That average still just above 300 at 302. Hits a foul ball here, 0-1. Well, he was really scuffling since opening weekend. He went 4 for 12 against Florida Gulf Coast, but wasn't until he had 4 hits against Kansas on Sunday. As quick time called as Atkinson and Jay chat. But yeah, before the 4 hits, he had been hitting just 185 over his last 12 ball games. 4 for 5 with a double. It was a get-right game for the Frogs on Sunday. 1 ball and 1 strike to Boyers.
All of a sudden, he raises his average 65 points. He shows up at the ballpark today. He's hitting 302. He's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, you forget about the previous 12-game stretch. We talked to Devlin Granberg, who's a director of hitting. There's a line drive out towards short. Short hop. Miggy's going to go to second for 1. To first. They get the double play. Now, hold on a second. Well, I don't know what the call was originally, but they're saying runner interference, and even if that play at first was going to be reviewed, it won't matter. Runner's interference, and that should end the inning.
Kirk Saarloos has also come out. Take a look at it right here. Well, what a decision by Santos. Oh, he comes in high, so yeah, they call the runner interference. And I think they got him there, too. It's a close play. Maybe Saarloos wants to check it first as well.
Hey, he never slid.
Yeah, he never did.
Straight up into second base. So that's the end of the inning. Patriots get the double play ball. It's the second one they've turned here today. We will wait, I guess, and see if they're going to go to review. I'm not sure there's anything to review at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the way
Michael Detallo will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th against Luis Rodriguez, who starts him at 89 for strike 1. DBU turned a couple of double plays to end innings today. This pitch stays high, 1 ball and 1 strike. As Rodriguez came on in relief in the 3rd, a couple of strikeouts at Grant Jay and Tom Poole to end the inning. Big swing and a miss by Detallo. It is now at 1-2. Rodriguez, honorable mention all Big 12 last year. Delivers at 1-2, and there's strike 3, freezing Detallo on the inside corner. So Rodriguez, all 3 of his outs have been strikeouts.
And he does it in a variety of ways. You know, we saw to Grant Jay how he threw the slider down and away to the right-hander. Here he backs Dottie up and just gets that over the inner half. I mean, right now the off-speed stuff is really sharp for Rodriguez.
Rodriguez has not gone more than 2 innings this season. That was against Arizona State, but his season high is 41 pitches in his lone win against Texas State. Luke Hefner swings at the first pitch and comes up empty. Luke is 0 for 1, grounded out to second base his first time up. And he chops this one to the right of the bag at first base. TCU facing this powerful DBU offense who hit their 32nd home run of the season. Chayton Krause, his 5th of the year, to lead off the 3rd inning. Patriots came in the day 13th in the nation in home runs. There's only 2 teams over 40, Georgia and Tennessee, at 48 and 44 that lead the nation. As we talked about early, Grant Jay on pace for 32 of those. Hefner fouls one away.
There's just so much pop up and down the lineup. Look at Alex Pendergast, leadoff spot tonight. He has 4. Santos, who hits 2nd, who has 6. And of course, Jay at 9. And Krause in that number 8 spot with his 5th earlier tonight.
Hefner towards first. Nice play by Bowen. And they're able to get it to Rodriguez covering. So Hefner's retired. There's 2 down. And speaking of home runs, Chayton Krause coming to the plate. And the last time he was up, he did this. Dead center field, 420 feet. Made it a 4-2 ball game. So here's Chayton Krause. Saw him on the mound for the first time this weekend, a 2-way guy for DBU. Pitch misses away, ball 1. 3 hits that were given up in the 3rd all belonged to Ben Hampton, 3 of the 4 that he allowed this evening. Krause, shallow in the air, right field. Who's it gonna be? No one could find it. Chatinier put his arms up and couldn't find it, and that is the 2nd gift base hit for the Patriots in the last 2 innings.
This is a difficult time at night. The twilight, it gets up in the light. Chatinier immediately throws his hands up. I thought Boyers might be able to get there. As high as that ball is hit in the air, Boyers from right field had the best chance at it. I mean, typically that Chatinier's ball, see his hands up. Even the first baseman in Bowen might have a chance there, but he gives way to Boyers, and the Patriots gifted with 2 outs.
They've gotten a few gift base runners. Love to make them pay here. First pitch to Humphreys, swing and a miss for strike 1. Humphreys was gone on a slider, the only strikeout victim for Ben Hampton. Humphreys takes low, now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bit of a weird weekend for Humphreys. He had just 4 official plate appearances. Or excuse me, just, I guess, 4 official at-bats. He went 1 for 4. So here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Actually, the 1 for 4 was Sunday. He only had 3 official at-bats in the first 2 games. Walked 3 times, had a sacrifice bunt. He was all over the place at the bottom of the order. Out 1 and 2 with 2 strikes. Trying to extend the inning to the top of the order. In the air to left, twisting out of play. Towards that picnic pavilion, and we weren't told anything, but it looks like a 2011 reunion down that left field line. A bunch of Patriot greats have made their way to the ballpark.
Ran into Boomer Collins walking into the park tonight. He was an All-American. That 2012 club.
Club 2011, the first ones to make it to a super. 1-2, slider, strike 3. So Rodriguez gets his played really in this part of the country, and here are 2 teams that have a lot to do with it.
Chatinier to start things off. Leadoff spot, first pitch outside. Charlie Atkinson's come out of the bullpen and has done an admirable job. He inherited a 2nd and 3rd 1-out situation, and the 3rd got a strikeout and a line out to finish off the inning. Rolled a double play ball in the 4th. Pats have induced 2 twin killings as Chatinier falls now behind at 0-2. A terrific night at the ballpark. Sold out crowd, standing room only. First of 2 meetings between DBU and TCU this season. They typically play that home-and-home midweek each year. They'll be over at Lupton Stadium in Fort Worth in late April. Atkinson's 0-2. Appeal he went. John Wolf down the line at first said that Chatnier offered at it, so the youngster gets the veteran, and Atkinson has 3 punch-outs.
Well, that one just straight down. It's at 85 miles an hour. It could be the slider or the curve, but big time bite, and Chatnier tried to sell it that he didn't go around, but didn't get the call.
Season high in strikeouts now for Atkinson. Big freshman from Katy, stands 6'5". This first pitch is drilled deep into center field. Humphreys back right at the wall, and it will fall into his glove at about 389 feet away or so. Off the bat is Sam Myers, who was looking for his second long ball of the year.
I think Myers just got underneath that one. Wind blowing out, you hit it well, it's going to push it towards that fence. And yeah, just a little bit underneath it off the bat at 95, just didn't get enough to get it out.
So quickly 2 gone for Logan Maxwell. Maxwell, the RBI single in the 3rd. He now has a 17-game hitting streak that goes back to TCU's 3 games in the College World Series last year. He hit safely in all 3 games that he played in Omaha. Came in tonight with the 6th highest batting average in the Big 12. It is up to .440 right now as he stands in with a hit tonight. Atkinson finds the zone. Highly touted out of Lima, Ohio. He was the perfect game player of the year in the state of Ohio, and Prep Baseball Report rated him the state's top outfielder coming out of high school. Fly ball to left. Man is there. This got a chance to be a 1-2-3 inning, and it is. So the Horned Frogs quietly in their half of the 5th. We're midway. Patriots will send top of the order coming up, starting with Alex Pendergast. Well, the task in front of them is Luis Rodriguez, who is filling up the zone right now. That is his 27th pitch since coming on in relief of Ben Hampton. That's tight. Quickly falls behind 2-0, so kind of a rarity here in which he is behind. Got activity just kind of stirring in the Horned Frogs bullpen. Pendergast, Santos, and Jay in the 5th. On the line into left. And reaching up and making the grab, Sam Myers for the first out. Ball at 96 miles per hour off the bat of Alex Pendergast. Allowed out for out number 1. So now Miguel Santos to face Rodriguez. Miggy's 1 for 2 tonight, had the bloop single in the 3rd. That time being called on the field right now. I mean, a ball that got loose down that left field line. So just for a moment, we'll pause as Santos gets ready to step in.
That came from the 2011 team. What are you doing? I bet it was one of their sons that grabbed it and threw it onto the field.
I think the Millards are over there.
The Millards?
Anything to do with that tonight?
They might.
There's strike 1 to
maybe
to
give me Landon Anderson. I'm gonna say it was him.
Some of the all-time greats in Patriot history here tonight as Santos bounces this from the cliff. Pennington, he makes a one-handed stab.
Just showing off. We get it. You got great hands. He's the best defensive third base coach in college baseball. There's no doubt.
And he's one of the best in the game in terms of generating runs and movement on the base pass. This team just year in, year out under him has been one of the top stolen base teams in college baseball.
Just like to get a few more guys on. See if the Patriots can get moving here tonight.
They've had a hard time doing that as that pitch came in on Santos. At least they've had a hard time against Rodriguez. This is a guy that they really wish they could have had in the postseason last year in Luis Rodriguez. He was hurt in his final start against Kansas State on May the 18th, so they did not have him in the regional, super regionals in Omaha. Santos right at Myers. A couple of well-struck balls into left field. Both hauled in, and there's 2 out.
Yeah, 2 balls hit pretty well, you're right. Now, DBU maybe starting to feel a little bit more comfortable against Rodriguez, but it was Grant Jay who was the first to face him, so Rodriguez officially 1 time through the order.
Jay 0 for 1, had the sac fly in the first that scored the first run. That one right on the corner, says Matt McKendry, for strike one.
That is perfectly placed, maybe off the corner, but he gets the call. It's a great pitch to start the at-bat.
Then he comes right back inside at 90. Jays hit safely in all but one game this year. 12th highest slugging percentage in the country coming in tonight. And that's where pitchers want to live against Grant Jay. If they can find success, it's kind of down and away to the big right-hander. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodriguez trying to go 1, 2, 3, and he does. That at 89 to Jay. Now Rodriguez has been a big part of the story.
This is probably going to start scoring again. So Charlie's job is to keep DBU connected until potentially they get Rodriguez out of the game or they can start to solve his mystery.
4, 5, and 6, beginning with Curtis Byrne. Flied out to right and then had the double on the first pitch that he saw back in the third. 2 RBIs on that at bat, 17 RBIs now in the season. Really, him and Carson Bowen platoon between catcher and first base. Tonight, Byrne gets the start behind the plate. We saw Bowen make a gold glove play on a ground ball in the hole off the bat of Luke Hefner. That's muscled into left field and a base hit. 2-hit night for Byrne. They've got a man on for Anthony Silva.
He's got the game-winning hit as it stands right now. That one off the fist just sort of muscles it into left. Pretty good pitch inside there by Atkinson, but Byrne able to get to it.
Silva's 1 for 2, steps in. He's 4 for his last 24. He's kind of scuffled here recently. A guy that you don't expect to stay down. He's hitting right at 300. Patriot bullpen is also starting to move around.
Neither pin's started officially throwing, just a lot of stretching right now.
Tapper foul. Patriots would love a double play ball here. They've rolled a pair tonight. Back in the second to get out of the inning. Ryder Robinson rolled into that one. Robinson stands on deck. And then Luke Boyers. Double play ball that was induced in the fourth to end the inning. The 0-2. Outside. Tried to get Silva to chase. Silva was the first batter that Atkinson faced back in the third. Runners at second and third on a 3-2 pitch. Charlie was able to get him looking. Fastball at the knees. He's got him at 2 strikes right now at 1 and 2. Down and away with a slider.
When Charlie's at his best, he's got that fastball with the downward movement. It's hard to elevate it, but this year, and in his freshman season, he's got slightly more flyouts than groundouts.
Just outside. Down and away. 3 and 2 once again to Silva. Well, this is one of the biggest pitches of the ball game right here early on. In the 6th inning, you've got a runner at first. TCU a chance to get 2 on and nobody out. High bouncer to short. Luke goes the short way to second. That's all they'll get. So they do get that lead runner instead of a situation in which the Horned Frogs could really be threatening and put some pressure on you in the 6th. There is one gone now for Ryder Robinson.
And that's the kind of contact that the downward fastball from Atkinson can get. There you see Jace Russell, who made his season debut on Sunday. He looked great. What a weapon that you're hoping to be able to add about a month or so into the season. That slider had some really good movement to it on Sunday.
Now it's Robinson, 0 for 2. The double play ball and then lined out to center. That hit him. 91. Well, another gift. 2 hit batters tonight by Patriot pitchers. They've walked 3, hit 2, and now 2 on for Brunson.
Number 14, first baseman Carson Bowen.
Looked like just a fastball there. Was aiming for the inside part of the plate. Just yanked it a bit.
So Ryder Robinson, or rather Carson Bowen, excuse me, Robinson just hit by the pitch. It's Bowen now, who's walked twice. Takes strike 1. Bowen had a massive freshman year. Hit .350, second on the team in average, a freshman All-American. Takes low. That one got away from Jay. The throw down the left field line. And another gift. It's a rare error by Grant Jay, just his second. And the Patriots, who are one of the top fielding teams in the country tonight, with two critical mistakes in the field.
Well, I would think, I don't think that can go as a stolen base. I almost wonder if it has to be a pass ball and then the error on the throw.
Well, now the double play out order.
Yeah, and fits into the theme of just giving runs away.
Pendergast there. That will allow Robinson to tag. So they're going to rule that a pass ball, and then the error on Jay. So a rough sequence for Grant.
Yeah, first of all, the fact that a ball that got that far away allows a runner to get to third, and then you obviously exasperate it by trying to make the perfect throw and it sails on you. So the Patriots, TCU, they've put pressure on, but if DBU plays a cleaner game, these 5 runs aren't on the board.
Brunson with the runner at third. A 3-run ball game. Gets ahead with strike one. Brunson has struck out twice tonight, both swinging. True freshman who was an 18th round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays last July. And Atkinson now a strike away from getting out of the inning. Luke Boyers, the number 9 hitter, would be next. Insurance run right there at third. And the former Robinson. Here's the 0-2. Chopper foul. Brunson came in tonight hitting .346. It's down to .333 after those 2 strikeouts. Guy that D1 Baseball tabbed as the preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Hits it into that alleyway in left center, scores a run. A big 2-out, 2-strike double for Brunson, his 4th of the year. Horned Frogs have opened up a 4-run lead now in the 6th.
Well, that ball just hammered off the bat of Brunson and plugs the alley off the bat at 102 miles an hour. He got the breaking ball and he was ready for it. Got every bit of the barrel. And TCU, another crooked number here in the 6th.
So Boyers now to the plate. Shallow, long run, man. He's got it. Able to get out of the inning, but not before TCU gets to Arkansas. Number 1 right now after 3 weeks. The top spot for Wake Forest. Boy, this ball's blasted off the bat of Ethan Mann. Going way back, and that went off the wall. Mann starts the 6th off with a leadoff double. And really the first time they've been able to barrel something up off of Luis Rodriguez, and maybe that is a promising sign in the 6th.
Yeah, Ethan got a fastball. Nearly got it out of here to left center field. Just need those base runners and need to have some better swings. Your second time seeing Rodriguez. Don't know how that ball didn't get out of here. Ethan hammered it. You could see a fan begging that thing to get out of here. About midway up the wall.
34 consecutive games for Mann, which he's reached base safely. He had the single back in the 3rd, now the double. Poole takes outside for a ball. Luis Rodriguez, that was pitch number 40 for the right-hander out of Long Beach, California. Poole's 0 for 2 tonight, coming off an outstanding week in which he hit .533. He was 8 for 15 last week in the Patriots' 4 games. Junior from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Came to DBU from Cloud County Community College. 1 year there as an All-American. That one's off his front foot. Guy that took a year off from school after he graduated high school to focus on baseball. He played for a kind of a summer league team in Canada called the Langley Blaze, and then was on to Cloud County. Essentially thought he was going to be a two-way guy. Had a hamstring injury and just was able to focus on hitting. Felt like he could be a 20 home run, 20 stolen base guy. He hit 23 home runs that year. There's a back pick. Man is back to the bag. He nearly stole 20 bags that year, 18 stolen bases, but this is a guy that can hurt you in a lot of ways. He's got pop from the left side, good wheels. Says he models his game after Charlie Blackmon, left-handed hitter in the big leagues, known for his beard, much like kind of Tom Poole's. And there the string is pulled. Well, the off-speed stuff tonight has really been sharp for Rodriguez.
He has such command of that secondary stuff. It is really impressive to watch. Now, he has now gone a full 3 innings. It's a season high for him on the mound, and also throwing 43 pitches. That's also a season high for Rodriguez.
6 strikeouts, and he works ahead to DeTalo. He's the Patriots' kryptonite. I mean, you look at what he did last year, 4 2/3 innings of shutout baseball. You kind of crunch the numbers now, 7 2/3 innings without allowing a run and 10 strikeouts.
Don't like that.
There's the step off and the one throwback.
Yeah, that wasn't a legitimate attempt, and
Nope.
you can see umpire behind home plate saying that's the disengagement.
Patriots will be glad to see anybody but Rodriguez. The 0-1 to Talo. Off the glove of Silva. They will get him. That had a chance to be a near double play ball. As he makes that grab, they're going to get man at the bag at second.
It's another ball hit pretty well. The Talo up at 102 right at the shortstop. Yeah, but Silva, to his credit, able to keep himself under composure. Throw a strike to first base. You hate to waste that leadoff double. Had to chip away.
Luke Hefner's turn now. The breaker for a strike.
Oh, it is just so impressive. Such an array of pitches, and you can throw any of them for strikes. Hunter Hodges has grabbed a baseball for TCU. Tyler Schott is throwing for the Patriots.
Well, the big arm for TCU, if they can get to him, has been Abel. 3 saves, 2.31 ERA. Proven closer. Is now Hefner is behind 1-2. Pats would desperately give anything for a run right here just to get some momentum back in the 6th. Not allow for that shutdown inning. He had the leadoff double. 1-2 to Luke Hefner. Rodriguez getting set to throw pitch number 49. So deuce is wild to Luke. Pretty good speed at second, and man, he could score on a base hit. Chatnier in right behind him. Now the 2-2. Ripped. Bowen has it. Now lost it. Pats are going to have a runner safe at first base. Bowen had it. He did the hard part, and then just lost it out of his glove. They're on the corners with 2 outs.
I don't know if he thought he had it in his glove or if he thought someone else was going to grab it. That was very strange. I think he did. I think he thought he had the ball in his glove, and he went to grab it to underhand to Rodriguez covering, and he didn't realize until it was too late that the ball wasn't in his mitt.
First and third for Chayton Krause.
Is that 3 infield singles now for DBU?
I believe you're right. Krause was hacking. He's got 2 hits tonight. One was not cheap, a home run over the batter's eye in center field. The other one was a gift, a bloop single that fell between Luke Boyers and right, Peyton Chantier, the second baseman, and Carson Bowen, the first baseman, who were all converging.
Yeah, 5 of your 8 hits. Infield singles or little bloops that just happened to find a hole.
8-game hit streak for Krause. Transfer from Grayson College. Guy that was born in New Zealand. His family moved to the States when he was just 4. Played in the Little League World Series in 2015. Hefner goes, swing and a miss, and Luke was trying to draw that throw. He gets the second with the stolen base. Burns says, I'm not biting on it. I've seen it on the scouting report. Second and third.
Well, now one of those little bleeders that gets through will give you a couple runs.
Rodriguez has got him down 0-2. Huge pitch coming now. Tried to back him up. A good 0-2 pitch. Now at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chait. 6'3", 227-pound junior in Kraus. Here's the 1-2. Struck him out. What else but the slider? Rodriguez.
Walked 1 and struck out 3. Assuming shot would face the lefties, but we'll see what the Patriots have here as we start the 7th. DBU's going to need a comeback here in the latter innings if they're going to continue this start to the season. As there's a foul ball to Chatagnier. 0 for 2 today. He's flown out, he's struck out, and he's also walked. And he came around to score in the 4-run 3rd inning. It's TCU getting ready for their home opening weekend series in Big 12 play over the coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They will welcome Oklahoma. Had to travel north to Kansas, and I think there was some frustration across the Big 12 as pitches up and in. And maybe some of these southern teams didn't want to travel early on in the year, maybe give you 1 more week for the temperatures to get a little hotter, but TCU had to deal with the cold temperatures in Kansas. And former associate head coach Dan Fitzgerald gets his Big 12 win to start the 2024 season. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2-2 to Chatagnier. It's Oklahoma, UTA, and Oklahoma State the next week and a half for the Frogs. Strike 3 on the fastball, 92 from Charlie Atkinson. Oh, he has now got 4 strikeouts on the day, and that is going to be the end of his day as Dan Hefner comes out.
Yeah, I love what you've seen tonight from Atkinson. He battled. The fastball had good life up to 94 right there, challenged him up in the zone. We saw the slider as an out pitch at times as well tonight. And Atkinson, after a couple
innings, came around to score a run. Myers out of Cywoods High School, ready to work. And the first pitch left on left in the air center field. Humphreys started back, comes in, 1 pitch, 1 away for Shotty. And now it's Logan Maxwell. 6-2 the score. TCU the latest to come across the plate. 2 runs in the 6th inning to extend the lead. It is the biggest that it has been today at 4 runs. Now here is Logan Maxwell. He had an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. Coming off a 3-for-3 game on Sunday against Kansas. Nearly takes this one off the right shoulder. Had 2 doubles and a triple. It's the 3rd multi-double game of this season for Logan Maxwell. He also did it against UCLA and USC. Sends this one foul. Including his hit today, he's got a hit in every game played this season. So going back to last year, it's a 17-game hit streak for Maxwell, as he has a hit in his first 14 games played this year. He goes around, and a shot goes with the slider, and it's 1-2. It's a fastball, cutter, slider, and changeup for Tyler Schott. 1-2 pitch. Little tapper right back to the mound. Schott's got it. And the top of the 7th comes to an end. Base hits. He's thrown 54 pitches, and he will face Nathan Humphreys to start the bottom of the 7th. And that breaking ball, it has not missed a beat. It's strike 1 to Humphreys, who has struck out both times today. Struck out against Hampton as well as Rodriguez as he grounds this one past Travis Stone in the first base box. Patriots out hitting TCU 8-5. A little bit misleading just because of some of the ball luck the Patriots have had, but only able to muster up the 2 runs. Ball into 2 strikes here to Nathan Humphreys. Now 2-2 as that ball floats outside. We told you earlier that Hunter Hodges was in that bullpen. Hodges, 6 appearances, a 180 ERA. They've got some good numbers out of a handful of guys out of that TCU pen. As Humphreys works at full 3-2. Need base runners right now.
He's really tried to work the corner. The backdoor breaking ball is we got Humphreys on back in the 4th. That backdoor slider. The slider's been sharp as well as the curve.
3-2 pitch. Walked him. Ball 4, and the leadoff man is on. First walk issued by Rodriguez. Speed at first, top of the order's coming up.
Well, it's kind of uncharted territory for him this year in terms of pitching, but this is a guy that's, look back at last year as a starter. I mean, up to 106 pitches in games, so he is accustomed to working deep.
You always wonder how stretched out a guy is, and right as we start talking about him, Kirk Saarloos comes out of that TCU dugout. And so we'll see if the decision has been made. That's a good clawing their way back into it. Once this year, they have won a game leading after, or trailing after 6. They've won 2 games when trailing after 7. TCU's been a comeback team themselves this year. They've got 7 come from behind wins. First pitch to Pendergast, fouled back and out of play. Couple of hits for Pendergast today as he tries to get that season kick-started once again. Went 1 for 7 over the weekend. Didn't start game 3. First time he was not in the starting lineup this year. That went to Joey Narrett, who had a couple of hits. Swing and a miss at the slider. And so Pendergast is down at 0-2. AP was stuck in a 1 for 18 stretch before he picked up a hit and an RBI game 2 against the Toreros. 0-2, and he's gone on 3 pitches, and it's more of the same than what we saw from Rodriguez as Hodges comes out, and that slider gets him out number 1.
That one seems to have more sweep. 86 right there, down and away. Maybe a little more velo from Hodges. Nonetheless, it's the same result. The impressive start right there from Hodges, the righty.
Well, here's Miguel Santos, 1 for 3 today. Last time up, hit one out 100 miles an hour, but right at the left fielder, Sam Myers. Got Humphreys at first. He's only stolen 2 bases, but he's got plus speed. And a slightly above average lead at first base. There's a swing and a miss. More downward movement there from Hodges.
That's really where TCU's wanted to live tonight. To not be up in the zone, but to stay down. If you're going to induce any kind of contact, maybe it's on the ground. But they have really lived down and away to the big right-handers in this lineup.
Soft stuff down has caused some problems for DBU as there's a pop-up into shallow left. Myers there, and it has been just a circus in the outfield. He makes the catch, but did not look comfortable at all. 2 away.
Now the wind plays havoc here. It's still, 13 miles per hour at first pitch. And you can see Myers here. This is a major league fly ball. Just to his knees. This is a young outfield. Myers is a true freshman. Brunson's a freshman. Brunson had the error in the first, and Myers nearly got himself in trouble.
Here's Grant J with 2 away. A rare fastball to Grant. Surprised him for strike 1.
Best pitch he's seen all night.
It's been a steady diet of sliders down and away to the slugger. But they surprise him with a first pitch fastball here. And then sequence that with the slider, and it's 0-2. That is exactly what you want to do with that fastball.
Felt like it was coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the fastball. You're not going to get another one. It looks like the fastball, and it just tails away from it.
0-2. There goes the runner. Pitch is down. There won't be a throw, so 3 stolen bases now for Humphreys.
Patriots just trying to generate anything right now offensively. Haven't scored since the 3rd.
A home run from Chayton Krause to lead off the 3rd. Made it 4-2. TCU scored the last 2. Jay able to lay off the last 2 sliders. Now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Grant Jay, who's 4th in the nation in home runs with the 9 today. Well, not today, that would be a record, but on the season. 2-2. Lays off it again.
It's so hard to see that spin, and some guys can hide it better than others, but if that slider starts shoulder high, then you know it's going to break over the plate. It's the ones that start middle and you think fastball and then it bends away. They're so hard.
He's been able to recognize the last few, and now it's 3-2 with first base open. And Grant works the walk. Well, they weren't going to give him anything to drive after that first pitch fastball. And Grant takes 4 off the plate away, and here comes Ethan Mann.
It's a great take. It's tough with 2 strikes, but he's able to see it. He sees it middle. He knows it's going to go outside off that corner. Byrne tries to frame it as a veteran catcher does, but it's clearly off the plate.
Grant talks to us about that cone or that tunnel that he's trying to envision coming out of the pitcher's hands, and if it's out of that cone, he's not swinging, so he's able to recognize. Here's Mann, who doubled off the wall his last time, and he got a slider. He was thinking fastball. It's 0-1. He was sold out to the Express.
Here's probably your most aggressive hitter in the lineup. And so TCU is going to try to take advantage of that. Expect to see some more of what you just saw in that first pitch.
Outfield extremely deep here against Mann. And this time, the slider for a strike on the outside corner. When you've got 2 versions of that slider you can throw, you're really in the hitter's head. First one buried, swing and a miss. Second one finds the outside corner for a called strike. Now everything's at his disposal at 0-2. Went back to it. Ethan, 2 hits today. It's his 5th multi-hit game of the season. Had the infield single and then the double off the wall in left center. Here he's gone swinging, as Hunter Hodges gets 2 strikeouts. So Byrne's ready. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Byrne out of St. Louis, Missouri. Redshirt senior, 145 career games, 117 career RBIs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Most RBIs in his career last year. He hit 285, 10 home runs, 48 RBIs. He was named to the Big 12 All-Tournament team last season. Elevated fastball, swing and a miss. Had the most doubles of his career and his highest average as a redshirt sophomore at 291 with 15 doubles, and was honorable mention All Big 12. 1-2 misses away, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Byrne, who had his average up at 340. And last week he was hitless until the 9th inning against Kansas. He had 2 hits in the 9th. That 8-run inning, a shot just misses, low 3-2. He was 2 for 17 last week with an RBI, and he's got the average right now at 299 with his 2 hits today. RBI double in the 3rd inning. Made it a 4-1 ball game, and then he had a single in the 6th. Payoff pitch. That's low ball 4. And that is a leadoff walk. That is now 5 out of the last 6 innings where the leadoff man's been on for TCU.
Chase Russell again back up, getting warm. And that's really been the difference tonight. As good as Charlie Atkinson was out of the bullpen, you look at the walks tonight, 4 walks for Patriot pitchers. They hit a couple. You've got the 2 errors on the board, so it's not been clean. Conversely, TCU, 10 strikeouts. They only walked 2. They played a much cleaner game through the first 7+ innings.
Here's the freshman All-American Anthony Silva, working on a 1-for-3 day. Also picked up an RBI, or excuse me, scored after he reaching on a fielder's choice his last time on. That's too far inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. There were some upsets across college baseball today. How about Duke? They get up to the number 6 spot in the rankings. They lose to Rider today, 6-2. Ball hit the other way and a base hit. Silva. He's got a 2-hit day, and the first 2 have reached for the Frogs.
It's a tough bottom part of the order to navigate through, too. You've got a really red-hot freshman here in Ryder Robinson. It's a switch hitter, so typically with Shotty, you want to go left on left, but you got a right-hander here. Robinson will be able to flip it around, swing it from the right. He's hitless tonight. Tyler would love to be able to, again, induce one of those double play balls and be able to go to work with 2 out.
Robinson been on once today. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th, trying to extend his hit streak to 10 games, and he's showing bunt here. It is a beauty, and the only thing Shot could do is that right there, let it roll foul. So Robinson has strike 1 on, if that thing stays fair, there's no chance that anybody is out.
Yeah, I talk about the double play ball, and you forget this is a big part of TCU's game. Small ball to be able to push those runners over, get 2 runners into scoring position. And for TJ Bruce, I mean, they're going to do a lot of different things. For him, it's not about a certain kind of philosophy. It's about how can we score 1 more run than the opponent, and they're going to put pressure on you in a lot of different varieties. You know, it's not necessarily a team that's going to outslug you, but we've seen a great approach tonight, and here's where they want to play that small ball and push 2 runners to second and third.
Robinson again gets it down, and Shot will go to first. Second sacrifice for Robinson this season, 8th for the Frogs. And it's now second and third with only 1 away as TCU playing for some insurance.
It's been textbook. They've done all the little things tonight. Execute a good bunt. First base side, nothing you can do. It's a job well done, and now Dan Hefner will go get Shot, and they'll go to the pin right here. This is the biggest spot that Jace Russell.
Go to work with that 3-pitch mix. Carson Bowen awaits in the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Remember talking to Zane Russell last year. It was at Florida Atlantic there in Boca Raton, and started talking to him about his brother, and he swore his brother had a better slider than he did. I thought he was just being a kind older brother as this ball's popped straight back. But in terms of the movement that we saw yesterday, there's the potential for that. Still very early on, and Zane did it for a long time.
What Zane had was great line from the fastball, and that set up the slider. I mean, it was a fastball, it was up 95, 96. I like the way Russell hides the ball. You can see his delivery here. It's got to be tough to pick up.
0-2 on 3 pitches. He's able to get Carson Bowen on the slider. Out number 2.
That's impressive. Bowen's a big bat. I mean, that's a guy who had a grand slam against DBU in the 8th inning last year that broke a game open. It was a freshman All-American last year. To get him on 3 pitches like that. Now, work's not done yet, though, for Jace. Going against Brunson now.
Brunson, in his freshman season, 1 for 3 with a double today as that slider starts on the outside corner. 18th round draft pick last year. Had a down week last week for really the first time all season. He went 2 for 11 with a home run as a ground ball to second. Miggy lets that one roll off his glove and into right field. That's the first miscue that Miggy has had this season out at second. And a play that he should have made, should have got us out of the inning. As a run added, in fact, 2 runs added, it's 8-2.
Yeah, first error of the year. Look at Miggy's stats in his career. 13 errors and 470 chances prior to that ball that kind of ate him up. That right there typifies the night. I mean, I know TCU's had some hits. You go back to the 3rd inning when they had the single from Maxwell and the double from Byrne. But outside of that, they've gifted with some walks, the errors. You had the pass ball and then the throwing error from Jay. Now you hit a batter. And when you play a good team like this, number 9 team in the country, you just obviously cannot do this.
We talked about it on the radio last week where you felt like you had the ugliest game of the year Tuesday against Baylor. And it's just, quite frankly, not the competition that you're facing today. And Patriots aren't playing as sloppy as they did last Tuesday, but when you do it against really good teams, it's going to come back to bite you. And right now it has. Jace got the ground ball he needed, but now he's got to face the top of the order, Peyton Chatinier. And there's a strike. It's 0-1. Chatinier been on once by way of a walk. He's officially 0 for 3. So 2 runs that come in to the credit of Tyler Schott, but both of those will be unearned. And there's a wild pitch. Now it's starting to roll downhill on you a little bit. Both runners now advance 90 feet. Second and third here with 2 away.
Yeah. Thought initially maybe a pass ball, but yeah, Jace just misses his spot. He's way off the plate.
So 1-1 now. And the energy was still in the ballpark, but those 2 runs by TCU here in the 8th have had a hush here in Dallas. And there's another hit batter. It has gotten ugly.
Well, that kind of unraveled on him quickly here. You had the ground ball, you felt like you're out of the inning, and then immediately the hit batter, wild pitch, now another hit batter, and Dan Hefner out of the dugout. I like the stuff. Dan Hefner's going to come out and get Jace. I like the stuff that Jace has got, but he'll have to harness that and figure out a way. His stuff will play.
Season. So here we go, left on left. It's Sam Myers and a wild pitch. It hits off the backstop. A run will score. Comedy of errors right now. Not sure what else to say.
Hey, Patriots have lost 2 games this year. You had a 6-1 lead against Indiana, and it slipped away from the bullpen. Saturday against San Diego was a 4-2 game going to the 9th, and then it was a lot what you're seeing tonight. You had 2 hit batters, you had an error, you had a couple of walks. It was self-inflicted wounds, and not to take anything away at all from TCU. This is a top 10 program, no doubt about it. I think they've been the better team tonight, but the Patriots have just played ugly. There's no way around it.
In the air, center field. Humphreys on a dead sprint. He's got it. And the inning will finally end, but 3 more runs. And in their first opportunity against Hunter Hodges, they have not had a lot of success against him either, as he was able to get 2 strikeouts to end the 7th. So first pitch to Tom Poole is outside for ball 1. Tom is 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts today. Had a great weekend. 6 hits, couple of doubles, 3 RBIs against the Toreros. Had his first career 3-hit game. Game 2 and game 3 against San Diego. 2-0 here to Tom, who struck out twice. And now ahead at 3 balls and no strikes. It's been a very rare thing for TCU to fall behind. TCU's only walked 1 batter here tonight. Only 1 error, and then pretty much clean across the board other than that 1 walk. No hit batters, no wild pitches. But there's a 4-pitch walk to Tom Poole to start the 8th.
It was a long time for Hodges to sit in that dugout. So how does he respond? Got a long way to go. This is a steep mountain to climb, down 7, but get you a base runner on, and can't get them all back in one swing. Just try to start chipping away.
Look at a couple of scores across college baseball in this half inning. We told you about the upset of Ryder over number 6 Duke as Kirk Sarlos comes out. NC State, number 13 in the nation, they were continue that perfect streak as Michael DeTalo trying to time up Chase Hoover. Last time Hoover was on the mound, game 1 against Kansas, he went 2/3 of an inning. Did not allow a run, just 1 base hit. For the most part, he's been maybe an out or 2 guy per out. Season high is an inning and 2/3. That came against Texas State the first Tuesday of the year. So here we go. Michael DeTalo takes a fastball right at 90 for strike 1. Luis Rodriguez would be in line for the win with his 3 2/3 innings of work. It's funny, you said he only went 3 2/3, but it felt like he had a complete game. He was on a roll. He probably just ran out of gas. It's the only reason he's not still on the mound, not stretched out as much as he was last year.
Yeah, to write down that he went 3 2/3, that felt like he at least went 6 tonight.
Yeah.
Sure felt like he was outstanding.
0-2 bounces. Yeah, I don't think there's any question that if we were giving out an MVP of the game for TCU, I think it would go to him. Offensively, you've got the 9 runs. There hasn't been that just one standout performance. I think this is the Luis Rodriguez game. 1-2 to Dottie. And he'll line one up the middle for a base hit. So DeTalo's got a single, his first hit of the day. Ninth hit for the Patriots. Luke Hefner coming up.
Hey, you look at the hit column tonight, and that tells you really how ugly it's been tonight for DBU on the other side of things. They've out-hit TCU 9-6. But you look at the error column, the 3 errors, and then what you've had on the mound with the walks, the hit batters, the free passes, and that has really been the difference. If it's not for those, you're probably looking at a game here in the 8th that, while it might be in TCU's favor, is probably still kind of hanging in the balance.
Luke Hefner, left on left, takes for a strike. Well, now you got Colt Taylor, a righty, who's only thrown in 2 games this season, who's throwing for TCU. Hefner, infield single his last time. He stole second base. Skies this one down the left field line. Slicing away, might stay in play. Myers going to run out of real estate. Little beyond that Patriot picnic pavilion. I don't think he would have found a whole lot of help if he was going into that pavilion, but out of play, no harm. And 0-2 to Luke. Who snapped out. He had a rough 2-game stretch against Alabama and Baylor. He went 0 for 7, 4 Ks, but hit 500 against San Diego over the weekend. Good take low at 1-2. Patriots had a 5-game win streak against TCU that was snapped last year. The Frogs won both games. Really 2 games the Patriots had plenty of chances to win. As Luke Hefner grounds one into right field, that's a base hit. Tom Poole is being waved home, and he's going to score without a throw. So, Patriots aren't dead yet. They get a run back. It's now 9-3, still nobody out in the 8th.
Put one good bat together after another, and start with the pull walk to Talo on a 2-strike hit, base hit back up the middle, and then another great approach right there from Luke Hefner. Down 2 strikes into right field, and I just hand the baton to Chayton Krause.
Krause 2 hits, including a home run today. It was his 5th of the season. Facing Hoover, runners at first and second. Ball 1 to Chayton Krause. The run that scored, that one is given to Hodges. The 2 runners on base belong to Chase Hoover. Now 2-0. And time called. Curtis Byrne doesn't like what he's seeing, so it's at least a chance for DBU. Nobody out. We've seen big innings before. Belt. So 2-0 after the conference to Chayton Krause. There's a strike at 90. Only 1 game this year for Chayton without a base hit. A couple of Tuesdays ago here against Oklahoma State. Just takes low, 3-1. Nathan Humphreys in the on-deck circle. So, dangerous spot for Chase Hoover. Pat's showing some life here in the 8th. The 3-1. Krause swings and skies it to right. Boyers is there. He's got it. Big out number 1 for the Frogs.
Chayton was looking for one spot. 3-1 fastball. He got it. Just wasn't able to barrel it. Got under it. Routine play there for Boyers. It's a big first out for Hoover.
And now a left-on-left situation in the top of the order. So maybe one more batter, perhaps, for Hoover. She got Ditalo at second. Hefner at first, both singled. Luke's was an RBI base hit. Strike. Given on the outside corner, 0-1 to Humphreys, who walked in the 7th. He's 0 for 2 with his 10th walk of the year. He's second on the team in free passes. Trying to regain the form of last season. That's away for a ball.
I know it's early, but you look at what Humphreys did last year against left-handers. 288 average, comes tonight 182. Still a long ways to go, but right now they're just having some difficulty with left on left.
Hitting 182. Now 2 balls and a strike. Now Humphreys, his freshman year, really known for his defense. Hit just .212, had 2 home runs. Dan Hefner, his freshman year, said he's the best defensive outfielder or center fielder that he's ever coached. Last year, the bat came to life and matched the defense. It's 3 balls and a strike. It was funny at the end of last year, Nate was looking at his stats. We were grabbing dinner, and he's talking to the team. He said, "I was terrible last year. Why'd you guys let me play?" Well, you're pretty good with the glove, and they saw the potential, and now it's 3-1 to him with 1 out. Ball 4. So the bases are loaded. 2 walks, 2 singles in the inning, and Sarlos gets about 3 steps out of the dugout, and he is pointed to the bullpen. As it will be Colt Taylor time, as DBU has a chance. 2 RBIs and a couple of walks. He has some of the most, maybe the most raw power outside of Grant J on the team, but even then you might give him a run for his money. As Narrett can put on a show. He had a home run in his first at-bat of the season this year. He's got the bases loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Then he swings at the first pitch and hits it pretty well to center field. It should be playable for Brunson. He's got it. Runners will advance all the way around. It's a sacrifice fly for Joey. TCU will take that trade. It's now 9-4.
Absolutely. Joey wanted to get something up in the air. And the key here against a guy that's got a lot of sink, a lot of spin, is to be able to see him up, and Joey does. You watch where this pitch is. He goes with it off the corner. It's just got raw power, as you talk about. Moves the runners over. You go back, if this is a closer game, if the Patriots play a cleaner game and it's closer, I mean, advancing the runners right there could have been huge. You've still got a long ways to go down 5. At least you've got 2 more runners in scoring position.
Yeah, base hit. Make it a 3-run ball game, and it might perhaps get A-Belt up for the Frogs. 1 hit today for Santos. He swings and fouls this one off. He's 1 for 4 today. He is coming off a tremendous week. He had an RBI in all 4 games. He went 7 for 19. Multi-hits in 2 out of the 3 over the weekend. Pitch is off the plate outside, 1-1. Two hits on Saturday with an RBI, 2 hits and 2 RBIs on Sunday. 21 on the year for Miggy. Trying to drive in a couple with 2 away. And tight. He didn't go. So 2-1 to Santos. His single came back in the 3rd inning. He has flown out 3 times tonight. 5th-year senior. Transfer from McLennan, where he won a national title in 2021. Fouls this one right over us. 2-2. Taylor's first appearance came 2 weekends ago against Southern California. Threw against Kansas in game 1 last weekend. Santos will foul off another. So still 2-2. He went 2/3 of an inning against Kansas and an inning against USC at Globe Life Field. That was a weekend tournament at Globe Life that TCU swept. Beat USC twice, also beat Arizona State. 2-2 to Miggy. Got him swinging. And a big-time reaction.
Here is Maxwell, who is 1 for 4 tonight. So left on left. Pinched on the corners. First pitch is there for strike. DBU has out-hit TCU tonight 10-6, but the glaring black eye for the Pats has been the 3 errors. Good pitch from Ridings on the changeup to get him out in front. Patriot pitchers have also walked 4. They've hit 4. Misses away and had 2 wild pitches.
Yeah, numbers-wise, the big inning is the third, but when you just think about the second and the eighth, you gave up 2 and 3 respectively. It was a situation where if you play cleaner, maybe only 1 or 2 runs come across there, and it just feels different right now than 9-4 in the ninth.
Maxwell gets the base hit up the middle. It's a 2-hit night for Maxwell. Now the cleanup man and Curtis Byrne, who is, if you look at anybody in this lineup that's had a big night, Byrne is one of those. The 2-run double in the third. He had a base hit in the sixth. Also walked in the eighth. See Nick Wilson in the Patriots bullpen. That was a question mark tonight. When will we see Nick? We've seen him start 2 midweek games against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, and he was special. We also saw him close out Arizona and Alabama and Frisco. So that's ripped foul. Struggled against San Diego on Saturday out of the bullpen. So we thought we might see Wilson tonight, just didn't know when.
It was such a weird outing on Saturday. So he hit 3 batters, walked 1, gave up 3 hits, 6 runs.
Runner goes. Good pitch to run on the off speed, and Maxwell's got it stolen.
So if Nick's not used today, the Patriots are still to be determined on Sunday. Wonder if they would elect to use him as an opener, but a lot of it may just determine on what happens Friday and Saturday in the series, and that could dictate who starts on Sunday.
Luke Pettit was really sharp.
He was.
On Sunday in his start. And credit to Luke, 2 starts last week against Baylor in the midweek, and he was outstanding on Sunday. Predetermined start in 3 innings.
Got the win.
Another foul ball. You know, for Pettit, the thing that stands out is it just seemed like he pitched.
Yeah.
It was a 3-pitch mix. Fastball was 92 to 94, but the off-speed stuff was great.
A couple of freshmen in this pitching staff that they've got that poise. Charlie Atkinson has the poise. Same thing for Pettit.
Byrne to right. Joey Narrett came in for Pendergast on that when he pinch hit there in the eighth, and there's the first out. And we talked with Travis Stone yesterday, and Travis is kind of the Swiss Army knife for the coaching staff. He works the pitching staff. He works at first. He's the first base coach, works the run game. But Travis talked yesterday, and I thought he brought up a great point about the youngsters on this pitching staff and the bullpen is you're going to find out a lot. The ebbs and flows of a college baseball season. There's going to be some guys that are dudes for you late in the season. It's just finding out who they are.
I think you get to a point where the Patriots feel like when you get to the end of the season and you're getting into conference tournament, NCAA tournament, those freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. They've got a full season of experience, and so now, hey, they're veterans, and they got to get the opportunities throughout the regular season, then hopefully fire on all cylinders whenever you get to the end of the year.
Well, this guy right here in River Ridings is one of those. You're only going to get him for 1 year, but you're hoping that he finds what he had at TCU in his first 2 years, because he was one of the most special relievers in college baseball.
Yeah, he had just a great freshman year, and it's a little bit ironic because the biggest hit that he gave up was against DBU in that Fort Worth Regional, Christian Boulware's double. So now he's hoping to author some postseason heroics on the Patriots side of things.
Matt McKendry just motioned to River Ridings with his eyes, and this, as we go back to what we talked about Nick Wilson, Nick works at an incredibly fast pace. So here comes the 1-2. Foul back. Wilson is standing on the rubber, and he is ready to go. And Wilson, the time was called the other day. It was a 1-ball, 2-strike count, and Wilson delivered immediately. Kel Smith behind home plate throws up his hands and then goes to his eyes.
Yeah.
And the new rule in college baseball is, yes, the batter must be in the box and ready to hit with 10 seconds on that pitch clock, but ready means their eyes are on the pitcher. And so Matt McKendry right there motioning to say that Silva's eyes were not up.
Yeah, what made that a little bit weird on Saturday was it was the point to Nick to say you're ready to go, but the point is basically, hey, now you're ready to see if the hitter's ready.
Right.
And he pointed, Nick was like, all right, I'm ready, and started to throw. And what's unfortunate is he threw a nasty slider that would have been strike 3. And, well, then the rest of the inning happened.
And you wonder, and we haven't talked with Nick and probably won't ask him, but you do wonder how much it affected the psyche of a guy that now he wants to dictate the pace, but now the pace is being dictated to him.
Yeah, and it's the first time that he's run into that issue, but it's going to be a thing in college baseball. The umpires aren't going to let you quick pitch a guy, so you've got to be able to adapt.
2-2 outside. Did you see the home run hit? That was Austin Peay against Auburn. There was a great clip. Lyles Miller Green, I don't know if you remember that name. How could you forget it?
I do.
And Auburn, you talk about quick pitch. It was a great quick pitch. Incredibly fast to plate, and Miller Green launched that ball over the video board. It was classic. That pitch inside. I mean, just what a response to be. You going to quick pitch me? Okay. I'll take you deep.
Well, and knowing Austin Peay, we played him. We played him last year. I'm sure that the dugout had nothing to say to Auburn after the home run.
Absolutely not.
Kept his head down and hit home and just shook hands.
There's Dan Hefner. I'll tell you, it's a pitching change. 9-4, and this became the team's Friday night starter at Southern. He went on to pitch for the USA Baseball Collegiate National Team. And here's his first pitch. It's bounced off the front foot of Ryder Robinson for strike one. Well, Robinson is from Utah. We hadn't really a chance to talk about him much tonight. But they've got a pipeline to Utah at TCU. Braden Taylor, who was an All-American, high draft pick from TCU last year, was a Utah kid. Robinson comes from a baseball family. It's in his DNA. His father, Derek, played 3 years in the St. Louis Cardinals organization in the mid-90s. So he's down 0-2. His grandfather was a pitcher at BYU. His brother, Crew, right now is a second baseman at BYU. And Robinson was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Utah, coming out of American Fork High School. So this is a big-time talent here. He's hitless tonight. Bounce to first. Pull the easy way. And there's two out. Now second and third.
You talk about Robinson, a state record holder for runs scored in a career and in a season. Patriots had a Gatorade Player of the Year out of Idaho back in 2012. Cy Snead, who went on to pitch in the big leagues.
Cy is now over in Japan, and he is really continuing to put together a phenomenal career.
He's become a fan favorite.
Yeah.
He's got a lumberjack look to him. Doesn't probably fit in very well in Japan, and they love him. They absolutely love him, and by all accounts, him and his wife love it there.
It's Carson Bowen, the number 7 hitter. Well, it's a 9-4 ball game. Still a pretty good deficit here for DBU, but the way this Patriot offense can score, it is imperative to keep this 9-4 going to the bottom of the ninth. Base hit could score 2 and really just give TCU a stranglehold here. It's already a difficult task in the bottom of the ninth as Bowen got out in front of that one. Carson Bowen. Another place they've got a pipeline to is California, and that's where Bowen's from, Anaheim Hills. You would think a lot of that stems from Kirk Sarlos, California kid coming out of Cal State Fullerton. 1-2 pitch. Fouled it back.
Feels like we've seen the two California teams, because over the weekend it was San Diego, about 90% California it felt like. And yeah, pretty big West Coast flair to this Frogs club.
1-2 to Bowen. 2 out. And another foul ball. You know, another team that had that same feel was Baylor under Steve Rodriguez, and he was a Pepperdine guy. And it seemed like Baylor, especially when they were going initially under Steve Rodriguez before things kind of took a turn for the South, there was a lot of California guys.
They played that way at times too.
It's not going to be easy. Hefner throws out Bowen, and that ends the inning. So they strand 2 in scoring position. Bottom of the ninth, Pats 242 that day here at the park. Here is Grant J. Lifts it foul for strike 1.
Hoping to see one of the greatest comebacks this season in
Right.
college baseball.
2,200 came here tonight. It's given their money's worth. Long way to go. Down 5. Let's see if Grant J can start something here. hitless tonight. 0 for 2. Does have a sac fly and also walked.
Yeah, Pats got out to a quick start. Leadoff single and an error in center. They played situational baseball, moved the runner over, got him in, but TCU's made them pay for their mistakes.
1-1 upstairs. It's a fastball, slider, and a curveball for Ayers. Fastball with some great life here, 95 to 98. Jay was amped up for it. 96 from Ayers, now at 2-2. Another foul ball.
They're challenging him with that express. 96 again.
Well, if TCU's got questions about their bullpen, I think they've got some answers there. We saw Rodriguez tonight, who was brilliant. 3 2/3 shutout baseball. Like what you saw from Hodges tonight, and Ayers he's not even the closer. He's pumping 96. Here's the 2-2. Just off the corner.
In total, it's been 5 2/3 of relief from this TCU bullpen. Allowed just 2 runs.
Full count to Jay, trying to get on to start the 9th. Low ball 4. Jay walks for the 2nd time tonight. Well, not done yet. They got the leadoff man on for Ethan Mann.
Had the first 3 on in the 8th inning. Pushed 2 runs across. If you're gonna work your way in it, getting the first guy on is a good way to start.
Ethan, a couple of hits tonight. Had an infield single in the 3rd. He doubled in the 6th on a ball that we don't know how it didn't get out of here. He ripped that ball to left center field off the wall. And he goes deep into center field here. Chases Brunson back, way back, looking up. 2-run shot. Ethan Mann, and the Pats aren't done yet. Mann's 3rd round tripper of the year, and it's a 9-6 ball game here in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, that ball went a long way. Estimated 470 feet to dead center field. Off the bat at 105 miles an hour. That is a moonshot. Couple runners on base. Now you're talking.
He did a whole lot of that last year. 80 RBIs for Mann. A season in which he hit 20 home runs. That's just his 3rd year. Now here's Tom Poole. High and away, ball 1. You get a man on here, and it really gets interesting. Here comes Kirk Sarlos. I wouldn't count this off of Arizona. They're all West Coast guys. So here we go. Tom Poole, 1 ball, no strikes. Not close there. 2-0, and it's got to be on a tee for Tom here. One that he wishes he had back.
Yeah, he saw the fastball, but realized too late that he didn't want to swing, and so just sort of an awkward hack at the ball.
That's where Ayers wants to live. Fastball up. Blew it by him there at 96. Now at 2-2.
Yeah, that 3rd pitch of the bat completely changes things.
It's the fastball up and the curveball or slider down. And there is the breaking ball stuff. The slider, and what a response by Ayers to get the first out.
Fell behind 2-0, threw a fastball at 2-0 that was out of the zone, got Tom to swing at it, and then that changed the whole at bat. Slider that would have been strike 3 called, had Tom way out in front of it.
It's Michael DiTallo now. It's 1 for 4, singled his last time up in the 8th. Sharp slider from the righty. And Ayers.
Again, that's a guy selling out to the fastball. Good slider.
On the corner. Well, now he's in a groove. Nothing in 2 from Ayers, a 6'1", 190-pound junior. The Talo waits, just got a piece of it.
When you're
Tying runs, Jaden Krause.
When you're trying to get a couple guys on, this is it's towards the bottom of the lineup, but with DeTalo and Hefner, 2 guys that, in terms of just contact, really good with the bat.
Yeah. If you can get to him, Krause is the tying run with pop. DeTalo jammed. 0-2.
And if you get to Nate Humphrey, something really good is in.
DBU is out. Hit the Frogs tonight, 11-7. Down 3 on the scoreboard. Outside. Byrne really trying to bring that pitch back up for Matt McKendry. Not going to buy it. 1-2.
We've talked about it all night. Is there any question where TC wants to pitch the Patriots? It has been, it feels like about 70% sliders down and away tonight.
Fastball away that time. Now at 2-2. Transfer from Northwestern State, Michael DeTalo, young sophomore. Hit .372 as a freshman All-American last year. Ayers misses outside. Tried to spin the breaking ball. 3-2. This was a 9-2 ball game. Pat scored 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. DeTalo trying to get on. Past the baton. Here's the 3-2. Struck him out. Heat at 96. Back-to-back strikeouts from Ayers, and now DBU's down to their final out. Luke Hefner's coming up.
That's a great fastball. Tailing action inside and probably would have been ball forward, but what are you going to do if you're DeTalo? You got to offer that. That is an outstanding looking pitch there from Ayers. After that 2-run home run, back-to-back punch-outs, he's an out away from ending it.
So Luke Hefner, a couple of hits tonight in his last 2 at-bats, and takes a big cut for strike 1.
97 that time from Ayers.
You've seen a lot of different paces tonight. Rodriguez didn't blow you away, but his secondary stuff was outstanding. The breaking ball, the slider, changeup. His fastball sat about 90. Because now the Pats are down to their final strike. But yeah, it's been a lot of the spin down and away. And now you got a guy here that can do a little bit of everything. Pats trying to hang around. 2 strikes on Hefner. He struck him out. The slider down and in got him in Ayers after he ran into trouble in the 9th, giving up the home run to Ethan. Man comes back and strikes out the side.